Hey, what is up guys, it's Galaxytech Darklord here, coming at you guys today with a new CyberDragon deck profile for this current format. A couple of weeks ago actually, I think it was about a month ago now, I entered this in my locals. I got 5th place with it. This was of course before the November 9th ban list took place, but this deck wasn't actually hit by that ban list, so yeah, I made a couple of improvements and ready to reprofile it for this current format. So yeah, we'll get straight into it. So starting off with the 3 copies of CyberDragon. This is absolutely vital, of course. You need this in pretty much all your plays. Then we've got 3 copies of CyberDragon Core, because this searches out your cyber repair plant and also your fusion support. Then 3 Drei to make your in CyberDragon Nova plays. I'd also like to point out, yeah, again, this is a TCG variant, so there is no Infinity and there is no Rampage Dragon in it. Then 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier, because this really helps with any of your rank 5 plays that you want to make, because you got every main deck card in here is light, so yeah. And then it can search out another one of itself anyway. Then 2 copies of Honest, because yet again, all lights. So really helps to run it. Then lastly, a cut Toon CyberDragon from the last profile, because it's not that much help without having Rampage Dragon, so I've instead put in 1 Electromagnetic Turtle, because this is basically like your Necro Gardener, except it's once per duel, so it's not as helpful, but yeah, still helpful at 1. So yeah, that rounds off the monsters. Quite standard 15 monsters in this deck. Then for the spells, playing 3 copies of Power Bond, because you have to. You want your fusions, they are the most vital part of the deck, so that's why I'm running those. 3 copies of Cyber Repair Plant, because you want to search out your monsters, and you need a CyberDragon in the graveyard, but luckily you've got cards to help set those up, such as your Galaxy Soldiers. So yeah. Then 3 Upstart Goblins, because we want to get to our cards as quickly as possible. 2 Machine Duplication, because with your CyberDragon cores on the field, you search out your repair plant or your fusion support, you go Machine Duplication, and then you get 2 CyberDragons with it. So yeah, because it's treated as CyberDragon. So yeah. Then running 2 copies of Instant Fusion, because we're running 2 Panzer Dragons in this deck. So yeah. Only running 2 Fusion Conscription this time, because I found it, when I played it at locals, it was really, really cloggy. So I cut 1 from the deck afterwards, and it was a lot smoother. Because this card is just very limiting after you use it, especially since every card is pretty much like every monster you need is treated as CyberDragon, apart from your Galaxy Soldiers. So yeah. Then one Instant Fusion, no, not Instant Fusion, Overload Fusion, sorry. I would actually run 2 of this if we had Rampage Dragon. I mean, I have a second one, it's not in the deck at the moment, so yeah. So yeah, I'm only running 1 because you've only really got 1 target at the moment, and that's your Over Dragon. So yeah. Then 1 Fusion Support, because this basically makes your graveyard live when you use Power Bond, so and I guess it makes your hand live when you use Overload Fusion as well, but you mainly want this for your Power Bond plays. It's especially useful if you've got like 2 Power Bonds in your hand, so you've got like 2 CyberDragons on your field, you have 2 Power Bonds in hand, for example. This was actually a situation I had when I was at my locals. I had 2 Power Bonds in hand and 2 CyberDragons on the field, and I had Fusion support as well. I used Power Bond to make a Cyber Twin Dragon. So I put these in the graveyard. Then I used Fusion support, another Power Bond, removed these from the game, and summoned another Cyber Twin Dragon, and that was just game. So if you really want overkill on that, then it works. So yeah, running 1 fusion support. Then running 1 soul charge, because this really helps when you have no fusion plays to make, but you could always make rank 5 plays with this deck if you've got a loaded graveyard. Then 1 Foolish Burial to set up your graveyard with a Cyberdragon or a Cyberdragon core if you really want to use its second effect. 1 Raigeki for field clearance, and that rounds off the spells. Then for the traps, there's not that many. Running 3 copies of Reckless Greed for draw power. You want to get to your cards as quick as possible. You have power bonds, and since there's no way to search power bond, this is your best bet at drawing it. Then lastly, I cut the amount of trap stuns I run. I run 2 trap stuns now. If we get Infinity, I might actually cut this from the build completely, because Infinity is kind of more diverse, even though it's once per turn. This just gets really cloggy. So yeah, I mean, it's really helpful in this format against like Magispectors and stuff. So yeah, so that rounds off the traps. Extra deck wise, I'm running 1 End Dragon, 1 Fortress, no, Over Dragon, 2 Cyber Twin Dragon, because this is just incredible. It's the best card, by far and away the best extra deck card you have. 2 Fortress Dragon, because Cosmo, in this format, this deck does so well against Cosmo. It's unreal. So yeah, you really want your Fortress Dragons. I might, if like it wasn't so expensive, I'd actually bump it up to 3. Lastly, I'm running 2 Panzer Dragon for the because they're your instant fusion targets. So yeah. Then for the Xyz monsters, running 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Nova. This card is really did jump up in price when Infinity was announced. Luckily, got the structure decks. So yeah, this card is just incredible as well. Needless to say, its effect to resurrect Cyber Dragons is uncanny, and its other effect, when it's destroyed by card effect by your opponent's card effect, you get a fusion monster that's a machine type. It's really good. I mean, unfortunately, I had to cut Barbaroid from the build because of space issues, but you've still got your End Dragon, which is great. So yeah, 2 copies of Pallades, because you really want to get cards out of the way without destroying them in some cases. Like Cosmo are the ones I can think of, because all the ships kind of float when they're destroyed or when they're sent to the graveyard, so you want them back. You want to just bounce them back to the hand instead. Then 1 Volcasaurus, 1 Tyrus, because those are just some staple rank 5s. Lastly, I'm running 1 Gaia Charger, because in the absence of Infinity, if you're out of materials on any of your rank 5s, then just go into this and you've got Piercer. So yeah. So yeah guys, that rounds off the deck profile. Hope you like it, hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to suggest improvements for the next build, because I will be improving this with the impending arrival of Infinity. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below how you think I can improve this deck. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Peace out.